All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this Athenian Stranger tutorial video where today we are going to work through a homework assignment called Solve Equations and Simplify Expressions. I'm going to move through this fairly quickly because we did go over some of this in class. The intention here is that we make sure you have a reference to any questions that were a little confusing or difficult. The first question is 3, open parenthesis, 1 plus 4m, close parenthesis, equals 87. All right, this is a distribution problem, so we have to multiply the 3 into both terms inside the parenthesis, the 1 and the 4m. And what that looks like is 3 times 1 is 3, and 3 times 4m is 12m. So we put 3 plus 12m on the left side of the equal sign, and we set that equal to 87 on the right side of the equal sign. Now we want to continue trying to isolate the m variable, so we subtract 3 from both sides, like this, and on the left side, the 3's either cancel out, however you want to envision it. 3 minus 3 is 0, so the 3's go away on the left side. On the right side, 87 minus 3 is 84. The reason we subtract 3 from both sides is because whatever we do to one side of the equation, we have to do to the other. Now we rewrite. All that remains on the left side is 12m, and that is equal to 84. Now, it's important to remember that 12m is really 12 times m, and that's important to know because we've got to get rid of the 12 on the left side, and so we do the opposite of whatever is currently happening, which is multiplication, and that is, the opposite is division. So we divide both sides by 12, and on the left side, these 12's cancel out. 12 divided by 12 is 1. So they cancel out, leaving m by itself. And m equals 84 divided by 12, which is just 7. So we put that in a box, and that is the end of problem 1. Okay? Problem 2. Okay, here's problem 2. We are given 88 equals -2 plus 6, open parenthesis, 7 plus k, close parenthesis. Again, this requires distribution. We have to do the distribution before we do anything else. I mean, we don't really have to do it this way, but it's good. We will distribute the 6 inside the parenthesis, and let's rewrite everything we didn't touch. 88 equals -2 plus 6 times 7, which is 42, plus 6 times k, which is just 6k. Okay, and now we'll continue to simplify this by getting all of our terms that are not related to the k over to the other side. And we'll start by adding 2 to both sides. We'll just take this one baby step at a time to make things simple. -2 plus 2 is 0. 88 plus 2 is 90. Rewrite 90 equals 42 plus 6k. And we'll continue to isolate the k on the right side by subtracting 42 from both sides. And on the right side, 42 minus 42 is 0. And we'll perform a subtraction on the left side to get 90 minus 42 equal to 48. So now 48 is set equal to 6k. And here we'll remember that 6k is 6 times k. To get rid of the 6 on the right, we divide both sides by 6. The 6's cancel out on the right, leaving k by itself on the right. And now 48 divided by 6 is 8. So k equals 8. Put that in a box. And that's the end of problem 2. Moving on to problem 3. For problem 3, we are given 2, open parenthesis, negative 7x plus 8, close parenthesis, equals 4, open parenthesis, 7 minus 3x, close parenthesis. And what we'll do here is we'll have to do 2 distributions, one on the left and one on the right. We'll do those one at a time to make things easier. 2 times negative 7x is just negative 14x. And 2 times 8 is 16. And that is equal to 4 times 7, which is just 28, minus 4 times 3x, which is 12x. And we can choose which side we want to get the x on. I'll put it over here on the left side by adding 12x to both sides. On the right side, I get negative 12x plus 12x. Well, that's just 0. And on the left side, I have negative 14x plus 12x. So what I end up with is negative 2x. Let's rewrite what's left. I've got negative 2x plus 16 on the left equal to 28. Okay, in my effort to get x by itself, I need to subtract 16 from both sides now. And 16 minus 16 is 0. 28 minus 16, well, we'll perform that. 8 minus 6 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. So now I have negative 2x equal to 12. And I'll finally isolate x by dividing both sides by negative 2. The negative 2's cancel, and x is equal to 12 divided by negative 2, which is negative 6. So x is equal to negative 6. And that's number, oops, couldn't see it. That's number 3. Now we'll move on to number 4. Number 4 is negative 5. Here's what we're given, negative 5, open parenthesis, x plus 4, close parenthesis, equals negative 7, open parenthesis, x plus 2, close parenthesis. And once again, we have to do 2 different distributions here. We'll distribute the negative 5 to the x and the 4 on the left, and the negative 7 to the x and the 2 on the right. And again, we'll perform those one at a time. Negative 5 times x is negative 5x, and negative 5 times 4 is negative 20. And that is equal to negative 7 times x, which is negative 7x. And negative 7 times 2 is negative 14, so we just put minus 14. And now I'll isolate x on the left by adding 7x to both sides. On the right side of the equal sign, negative 7x plus 7x is 0. And on the left side, negative 5x plus 7x is positive 2x. And now I'll rewrite what I have, 2x minus 20 equals negative 14. Okay, in my effort to get x by itself, I've got to get rid of the 20 on the left, so I'll add 20 to both sides. And on the left-hand side, the 20's make 0, negative 20 plus 20. On the right-hand side, I've got negative 14 plus 20, and that's going to give me positive 6. Okay, just want to make sure it's known that that's positive 6. Now on the left, I have 2x equal to 6. Divide both sides by 2. And the 2's cancel on the left, and x is equal to 3. And that is number 4. Moving on to number 5 now. This is a different type of problem because we're going to end up with squared terms, but it's solved the same way. We take number 5 and see what we're given. We're given 8, open parenthesis, 4n plus 8, close parenthesis, equals 2 plus 2, open parenthesis, negative 5 minus 2n, close parenthesis. And once again, I'm going to have to perform distribution. I mean, that is the MO here in this assignment, and I'll perform that twice. On the left side, 8 times 4n is 32n, and 8 times 8 is 64. So I have 32n plus 64 equals 2, plus, and now I'll multiply 2 times negative 5, and that will give me a negative 10. We'll put that in parentheses to make sure we don't lose that negative sign, and then 2 times negative 2n is negative 4n. Let's clean this up a little bit. I'll rewrite the left side, 32n plus 64 equals 2 minus 10 minus 4n. And we'll isolate n on the left, and to do that, we will add 4n to both sides. Again, these choices are somewhat arbitrary. Negative 4n plus 4n is 0, and 32n plus 4n is 36n. Let's rewrite everything we have. We have 36n plus 64 on the left equal to 2 minus 10. Okay. We should go ahead and solve on the right here. We can simplify this. 2 minus 10 is negative 8, so I'll rewrite 36n plus 64 is equal to negative 8. And in my effort to get n by itself, I will subtract 64 from both sides. On the left-hand side, 64 minus 64 is 0. And on the right-hand side, negative 8 minus 64 is essentially the same as adding 8 to 64 and putting a negative sign in front of it. Okay, so in order to make that clear, we'll add 64 and 8 in our side work. 4 plus 8 is 12, and 1 plus 6 is 7. Okay, so that would be negative 72 on the right-hand side. So let's rewrite what we have. We have 36n equals negative 72. And in my effort to get n by itself, I'll just finish by dividing both sides by 36. And on the left, the 36's cancel, and I get n by itself equal to negative 72 divided by 36, which is just negative 2. Okay, we didn't end up needing a squared term there, but it was possible. So let's move on to number 6. Okay, number 6 is a bit of an oddball. It's not a question that I think will come up too often in your life, but it might. So I want to make sure you know what it looks like when you see it. On the left-hand side of the equal sign, you're given negative, open parentheses, v plus 7, close parentheses, equal to, on the right-hand side, negative, open parentheses, v plus 6, close parentheses, minus 1. And what we're going to be doing here is essentially distributing negative 1 through these parentheses, okay? So it's negative 1 through here on the left and negative 1 through this parenthetical expression on the right. Negative 1 times v is just negative 1v or negative v. And negative 1 times 7 is negative 7 equals negative 1 times v is negative v. Negative 1 times 6 is negative 6. And then we bring that minus 1 down here. And we'll clean up the right side by rewriting the left. Negative v minus 7 equals negative v. And then negative 6 minus 1 is negative 7. And now we notice we have the same thing equal to itself. That should be our first hint that something is weird. But we'll keep solving it and see what happens. I'll add 7 to both sides. Okay. On the left, negative 7 plus 7 is 0. On the right, negative 7 plus 7 is 0. So now I have negative v equal to negative v. And I will add v to both sides in an attempt to isolate the variable. And here you're seeing the whole process begin to kind of break down a little bit, and that's intent. You have now negative v plus v is 0 on the left, and negative v plus v is 0 on the right. And so you have 0 equals 0. When you see this, the most common thing to think is that this means that the solution set is 0. But that is not correct. When you see this and this, I'm going to put this in red because it's a weird one. When you see 0 equals 0 and you're sure you solved it correctly, the answer is the set of all real numbers. This is a unique problem. It's one that I just want you to recognize. If you solve through an algebra problem and you end up with 0 equals 0 like that, the answer is all real numbers. Okay? So we'll put that one away because that one was kind of weird. And now we'll move on to the final two. And these are the two, I was mistaken before, these are the two that will have squared terms. And these are different because these both say simplify, not solve, simplify. And that means there won't be any equal signs. We're just trying to get things simpler. So we're given negative 8k, open parenthesis, negative 4k minus 1, close parenthesis, minus 6, open parenthesis, 6k plus 8, close parenthesis. And we're asked to simplify this. Well, we're just going to distribute the negative 8k through its parenthetical expression, and we'll distribute the negative 6 through its parenthetical expression and see what we get. Negative 8k times negative 4k is positive 32k squared, referring to the product rule here, where k times k is really k to the first power times k to the first power, which equals k to the 1 plus 1 power, which is just k squared. And that's the product rule. So back to the problem, negative 8k times negative 1 is just positive 8k. And now we do this. Negative 6 times 6k is negative 36k. We write that like that. Negative 6 times 8 is negative 48. Okay? Now we'll just continue to simplify by combining like terms. And our only two like terms are positive 8k and negative 36k. And so we'll just rewrite this 32k squared. And now we have to essentially do a subtraction problem. 36 minus 8 gives us negative 24. So we write, simplify 8k minus 36k to negative 24k. minus 48. Okay, and that is the simplified expression. We'll move on to the last problem, number 8. We are given negative 6, open parenthesis, 1 plus 2v, close parenthesis, minus 5v, open parenthesis, 2v, minus 12, close parenthesis. Once again, we're back to our old friend distribution. We're just going to distribute these through their respective expressions. Negative 6 times 1 is negative 6. Negative 6 times 2v is negative 12v. Negative 5v times 2v is negative 10v squared. There again, referring to the product rule, v times v is v squared. You add the exponents, and the exponents are 1. And now negative 5v times negative 12 is positive 60v. All right? So now we combine like terms, and my like terms are negative 12v and positive 60v, which is essentially a subtraction problem. Over here in side work, we'll do 60v minus 12v, and we know there's going to be a v down there in the solution, and so we'll just borrow from the 6. 10 minus 2 is 8, 5 minus 1 is 4, and my answer is positive 48v, so I'll rewrite negative 6 plus 48v minus 10v squared. And that is the simplified expression for number 8. All right, 22 minutes. And I hope this was helpful. If you like this video, if this helped you with your homework, please give the video a like. Leave a comment if you have a question. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you're always alerted to new videos. Thank you.